Alex, I think the first thing that we should talk about is Deadpool 3.
You mean the giant, like mega-sized elephant in the entertainment room right now?
Chimichangas! I want...
I can't tell you how hyped I am for that one.
Yesterday, Ryan Reynolds drops a short video on YouTube and on social, basically talking about the fact that he couldn't come up with anything for the next Deadpool, and that he was sorry that he missed D23 and everything like that. And then basically dropped the bombshell that there is Deadpool 3. It has been written, it will be filmed, and that Hugh Jackman will be coming back as Wolverine.
Which is, I mean, we knew Deadpool 3 was coming. Like that's been
in the works
for a while. That's been in the works. Like Ryan had been to Disney, all of that had been going on. What nobody knew, and this was the big piece of yesterday, was Hugh Jackman coming back. I mean, and that's you cannot understate, like, you can't overstate how big of a deal that is. Did you catch the second video today, Mallo?
I did catch the second video. I use video very lightly, but yes, I caught the second video.
I like, they give you the one piece. They're like, all right, here's your one thing. Logan is in 2029. This does not change that. Logan still dies in 2029. And then they overlay. By the way, I meant to go look before the show. But how long do you think it's going to take before somebody does lip reading and other stuff like audio tricks to like isolate what stage talk they were doing behind the scenes?
So apparently somebody has cracked it already and cranked up the volume, and essentially all they are like, they're not like talking about like anything in particular. They're just like, and then he does this and he goes, yeah, and stuff like that. Like, it's not like, because I mean, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they're friends. Like, they're friends legitimately, and so they, it's like whatever, they hang out, And the video was very nonchalant. It's just Hugh Jackman walking in the background of what I assume is somebody's house, just being like, yeah, all right, let's do it. Like, it's a fantastic way to put the announcement out there, and then to follow it up, like. Ryan Reynolds might be slightly, I mean, he's kind of a marketing genius at this point. Like,
Ryan Reynolds is really between that. Like, you watch his Mint Mobile ads even. I mean, and they are, so the guy understands social media marketing. I think he like just in the back of his head, like better than most people in Hollywood. And he just gets it. And he's so good at it. It makes me want to go buy aviation gin and switch to Mint Mobile.
I don't know if I still don't know if I can stomach gin. That's the only problem. I mean, if I'm gonna make some dry martinis and things like that, yes, I'll go do mint. I'll go get me some Ryan Reynolds.
So you're a gin martini guy, not vodka, huh? No vodka martinis for you?
I mean, as much of a James Bond fan as I was, I guess I probably should do vodka martinis. At least I can then stomach it. But I was always told I needed to learn how to drink gin. Gin vodka and stuff like that. But I'm like, whatever.
Look, it tastes like a fucking pine tree. I mean, that's what it is.
Look, I've got a whole cabinet full of whiskey downstairs. So, from now until the end times, this Irish boy is going to be okay. But what it does bring up though, Alex, like, let's put on our speculation hat. Like, all right, it's going to happen before Logan, which we don't get old man Logan, which is good. We might get Hugh Jackman in his prime. Does this, like, my question to you is not, does it connect to the multiverse saga? Because I think we already know it's got to somehow. It's going to be in this phase. But how does it? Like, let's wild speculate a little bit here.
So the simplest answer I can come up with to that question is I think that there will be something that happens in the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie that's going to suck Hugh Jackman out, or not Hugh Jackman, Deadpool out of whatever universe he's in, dump him in another one with Hugh Jackman, and they're going to get sucked together out of that universe and dumped into the MCU.
Yeah.
Right after they get dumped into the MCU, because of their lovely fourth wall breaking, Deadpool's going to turn to the screen. He's going to go, there was a merger. And that will be the last they talk about it. Okay. Like, how does this happen? How am I in the House of Mouse? There was a merger.
Okay? I want him to use the words house of mouse.
He's going to do that.
Yeah. I want him to use the words House of Mouse in there somewhere.
I want to see him shoot a silhouette of Mickey.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know if Disney will let him get away with that.
I don't know, dude.
One.
He's Ryan Reynolds. He's pretty irreverent. And here's the thing. His irreverence in the way that he's done this ever since the original leaked test footage, right? When Fox didn't buy Deadpool, right? He's had this way, and maybe it's the same like personality trait, same skill set that allows him to be so good at social media marketing. He has this way of making people do what he wants. Yeah. And like Fox took a huge risk with them and said, okay, yeah, we're going to let you do an R-rated Deadpool. We're going to let you do all of this. And it worked. Yeah. And I think that he's got the ability to convince Feige. And we know so far that the reporting is that Deadpool 3 will be R-rated.
Yes, it will be R-rated.
All right, so that's my speculation. Okay. What's yours? Are we gonna get like a Doctor Strange cameo or something?
Well, I wonder if it's Doctor Strange. I wonder if it's like Cable and X-Force a little bit too, and maybe that's a way that it kind of brings into it. The question I have, and you remember from a few shows back, and I was putting together the rundown today, and I was looking at the predictions that we made for phases 6 and 7, and I was talking about it being the mutant saga, like. Phase 7 gets back to basics. It gets back to the Sentinels and everything like that we kind of get to. I'm starting to wonder if we're going to see the beginnings of that, because we think that there's going to be mutants in phases 5 and 6. I can't see, like, if they pull anything from House of M, I can't see how they can't do mutants.
So I've heard speculation on like a reverse House of M, right? Which could happen. The other thing is, I mean, they've already put, by the way, everybody, spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen a couple of these things, like, I'm sorry for you. They did the hint that Miss Marvel, the rewrite they did for Miss Marvel in the MCU is that she's a mutant, right? And they confirm that it's there, and then they do the little like audio cue in one of the blasters. Yeah. So we know Miss Marvel's a mutant. So there's that there. And then the next thing that we know on that speculative side is that that Namor in the next Black Panther movie. Yes. So Namor Marvel. Yeah, Namor they've confirmed is also a mutant.
So we've got 3 mutants so far confirmed. We think that the character, oh my goodness, why am I blanking on the character's name? She was the one that went through the veil in WandaVision. Monica Rambeau. Her character is also a mutant because her genes have been altered now from the Wanda's magic.
Yeah.
And so, and I kind of wondered, like, when the veil broke over Westview and it kind of did that explosion thing out, I kind of wondered if that started the reverse House of M thing, and we're just going to start seeing stuff.
I don't know. And again, like, I know that a lot of the YouTubers and stuff that I watch, there's been a lot of really wild speculation about how, in Bog's name, is Kevin Feige going to move mutants into the MCU, because there's so many things that are critical to especially the X-Men stories, right? Especially when you talk about characters like Magneto and stuff like that. Like Wolverine you can get away with because Wolverine's 1 billion years old and he just lived through a bunch of crap. Yeah. So, but the thing is with Magneto and with everybody else, like changing Magneto's storyline is basically undoable. So I've seen a lot of like random speculation about how they're going to do it. And I honestly can't think of a good way besides using Deadpool or something like this to smash multiverses together, which if mutants become phase 6 and 7, then that's where Kang comes into play, right? Because we know Avengers Kang Dynasty is coming. Yep. Then Avengers Secret War. So that would be the way to push them together, is that Kang's going to end up banging some multiverses together. And then when you come out the other side, you'll have some X-Men.
I'm sorry. The words Kang banging some multiverses together makes me think that Disney's about to make some OnlyFans. So that's a different way of thinking about it. I mean,
it's not a bad idea.
When two universes love each other and they slam together, then they make a baby universe
with the X-Men.
Actually, you know what, Ryan Reynolds, you can have that one for free because You can have that. You can have that whole explanation for free. We don't need Doctor Strange and jumping around and talking about incursions. We need the Deadpool explanation of just what the fuck is going to happen. Because I guarantee that's the thing. Deadpool has to be there for the big Avengers Infinity stuff because I need Deadpool to turn to the camera and be like, "Are you confused? Because I'm fucking confused. Because it's gonna get weird." And weirder than it already has. And we know that they've got to keep it at a certain level for the Gen Pop to get to it.
Phase 4 has been confusing, and there's a lot of complaints about how we can't really tell where in God's name they're going with all of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I know there's going to be a joke in there about a merger. I'm sure there will be.
There's got to be. There absolutely has to be.
But now, let's come back to the business side of this. So here's my question. D23, which we talked about a few weeks ago, was an absolute disappointment compared to previous D23s. It was crap. They didn't announce squat. Why now? Why this? Why did you not play this video at D23? That would have been the time to, because you had the attention of everybody. Now, you didn't need it because Ryan Reynolds posted this video and you notice it came from him first, not Marvel.
Yeah. I think the thing is I think you actually answered your own question. It's because we didn't need it by D23. I think
D23 needed it because D23 was crap.
D23 was crap, but I mean, it's a press event. Like it's a press event and a hype event. I think when it comes down to
it's been so good in previous, like the hype stuff they brought out was so good.
I mean, there's been a lot of E3s that have been good, and now it's kind of trash. Like,
that's coming back. You hear that?
It is coming back. Yeah, we'll get some more information about that coming soon. But I mean, it's kind of the same way. It's like people are gonna watch these movies, right? They're gonna watch them based on the merit of what the movies in the previews look like, and then they're gonna look at the Rotten Tomato scores and stuff like that. So they're gonna get. Let's be honest. Black Panther 2 is gonna fucking sell out the first night that it's in theaters. In certain theaters, it's gonna be sold out. It's going to be short of, I think, a masterpiece when it comes down to it because of all the weight of everything that Chadwick Boseman brought to that character. It's not going to rise to that level, but I think it's going to be cathartic for all fans to deal with. In the middle of all of this weird stuff, it's going to become a little bit of a anchor for us to be able to pick up on and run with. Deadpool's going to be kind of the same way because it can be irreverent in that way. And so it might be the saving grace and being able to like anchor D23 with Black Panther 2 and then being able to have sort of a second, what we call in the industry, we get like rolling thunder and all that kind of stuff, or like the momentum, continues to roll, right? You get Ryan Reynolds to put out something like this, who's been the face of Deadpool for so long. You don't need Disney behind it. It would feel weird if Disney came out and was like, and we're so excited to talk about this character that's probably going to shit on us in the script. Like, it feels right coming from Ryan and Hugh, who both not been involved in the Disney stuff right now. They are like the outside kids, kind of like sitting in the back of the class throwing spitballs at the teacher.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I think that's kind of the way. I agree. D23, by the way, still was absolute trash. It was terrible, except leading up to the Black Panther 2 stuff was the best part that they announced out of it, whole thing. But we knew that was coming, and so
right, there was nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing in there.
This one's going to slot in, I think, right before Fantastic Four 2. So this is going to be interesting to see how they start connecting all this stuff.
Well,
I'm sure they have a plan.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of, did you see John Krasinski?
I did, and everybody was going like, "Wait a minute!" Apparently, him and Ryan are doing a movie just before Deadpool 3.
I think so, yeah.
And so that's what it's referring to. But everybody kind of went, "Wait, are you Mr. Fantastic?" Because we really want more than the cameo. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad. I saw this on another channel, so I'm going to ask you: over under that we get Patrick Stewart in Deadpool 3.
That's a good question. I think there's a solid 60-40 chance that we get Patrick Stewart in a cameo.
Especially since he's now been in a Marvel movie in the MCU.
Well, and it does connect to Patrick Stewart is with Logan towards the end, you know, when it goes into Logan and stuff like that. So if anything, I think you could have an end scenes or like post-credit scenes where Wolverine ends the backup with Patrick Stewart
at the end. Yeah, and that would make sense to not break that canon. Break
Canonical.
the canon.
Yeah, break the
canonical. So having Hugh Jackman exit Deadpool 3, which also gives him leave to recast Wolverine, which you know they're gonna do.
The real question is
MCU.
are they going to bring in I think they should bring in a guy like Carl Urban to do Wolverine for the next one. You don't think so?
He's already in The Boys, and I think he's too well known for The Boys. Also, I heard he's doing a Dread sequel now. So no, I don't want Carl Urban. Do you know who my dark horse, my favorite pick is for Wolverine?
Give it to me.
Zac Efron.
If they put the chops on it correctly, he's not very tall, so that's
and neither
good.
is Wolverine.
Yeah,
but so here's why.
Yeah,
Did you see that
Hugh Jackman is fucking tall.
He is. He's
jacked.
Did you see the documentary like travel series that Efron did?
No, I did not actually.
Go watch that. Him with the beard and like traveling the world, going to these like outskirt places and things like that. He's got a very similar skill set to Jackman.
Yeah.
Right. He's funny, which fits the Marvel like bantery ha 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 attitude that they have for all the mainline MCU stuff. Like Jackman, he can sing.
Yeah.
I actually think the guy's got a lot of talent. And I think that he's done some stuff lately that shows that. And I think he's my dark horse. Like if Feige walks in tomorrow and goes, "Who do you want for Wolverine?" I'm going, "You got to cast Zac Efron." I think he's the right age for it.
Yeah, he could do it for 10 years plus, because I think if the mutants are going to do for 5, 6, and 7, which I still really do think they're going to. You're going to need somebody that's going to be able to grow into the character, that's going to be able to put on the suit, that's going to be able to like hang with it and stuff.
We figured we had Downey and Evans for basically 10 years.
Yep.
That's kind of the run. Is 10 years.
Well, and in the same kind of way, they need to have, I think, going into 6 and 7, or they at least into 7 when the mutant saga that I'm predicting is coming. You need to have a Captain America style character to the level of Chris Evans to play Cyclops.
So,
because everything's in that mutant saga's got to run through Cyclops, right?
It is, and here's the thing: I think this may be their chance to reset. Because the problem that they've got right now is they don't have an anchor. There is no character, and I think my guess is when they were coming into Phase 4, they thought there was going to be 2 characters to replace Iron Man and Cap as the anchors, and I think that was going to be Captain Marvel and Black Panther. And I think that didn't work because Black Panther, Chadwick sadly passed away.
Yeah.
And I think that Brie Larson didn't I think she did fine as Captain Marvel, but I think the way that they've got her characterized, she doesn't make that like, oh, I'm going to be the anchor like Downey or Evans could do. And I don't think they have one because it's not Doctor Strange, and you're not going to get Cumberbatch to be that committed to being in these movies. I thought they maybe did. I don't think they were ever counting on Spider-Man because Spider-Man belongs to Sony still, and you would have to keep working those deals. Yep. And they were getting tired of it.
And they're going to keep working those deals. And I think they've got the Marvels will show us what they can do with Brie Larson as a main character, and alongside other smart-ass characters,
maybe.
And I think they've got one. I understand. I don't want to put it all on Brie Larson because I think she's actually a really good actress.
I do too. And again, I don't think it's entirely her fault. I think part of it is, again, how they wrote it and where she slotted. And also the fact that the way that they've written the character, she's never on Earth. So she can't be one of the anchors for your new Avengers, right? And so you don't have one right now.
Yeah, and I think that's part. I think that part of going into Kang and the multiverse and all that kind of stuff is where she can be an anchor. But I think they're really going to judge the screen tests coming up for the Marvels to see if they want to continue that going forward. You're shaking your head like you don't think that that's going to work, but
I don't think it's going to work. But,
okay.
And again, I think that that's one of their problems is they don't have a replacement for Downey and Evans.
Yeah.
They, don't get me wrong. I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I enjoyed the show. I think Sam Wilson's great. I think he's going to be a great Cap.
Yeah.
But he's not Chris Evans.
Right.
I can't think of anyone right now who could hold that thing. Now, I think if you get the right casting, if you do it the right way, you can bring in Cyclops and Wolverine and all these characters. I'm hoping, and here's the other one I keep waiting for, and it's got to come any day now because they've got to start shooting, is the Fantastic Four casting, which we still don't have.
Krasinski could do it, and you've got to get Victor Von Doom in there, and then let's be honest.
That's the one that's going to kick their butts. Is that casting's going to be a nightmare?
I mean, there's a lot of it. I mean, fucking give me J.K. Simmons. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
They already brought him into the MCU though. He's J. Jonah Jameson still.
But I think when it comes down to it though, it's like you've got to get Doctor Doom right, because when you get to Phase 7, you're gonna have to do the Phoenix Saga, and you're gonna have to do it correctly, because that's like the biggest saga of X-Men.
I think 6 and 7, especially with the stuff with the Eternals and stuff like that, I think that centers around Galactus.
Right, which all still kind of works with the Phoenix Saga though, because she in the comics saves the universe a couple times, right? But then you get a chance to bring in Mr. Sinister. You obviously have Magneto and
I need that.
You bring in Mr. Sinister, which brings in X-Force a little bit too, which kind of like pulls it back together. It's got possibilities. That's the thing I'm thinking about. It's got possibilities.
Here's the thing, and I'm bagging on Phase 4. No. I don't think any of the movies in Phase 4 individually, or any of the projects individually in Phase 4 have been bad. I have enjoyed all of them. I just think they're not cohesive in any way, like Phases 1, 2, and 3, where you were like, okay, I get where you're going.
Right.
I can't tell.
Yeah, by this time in Phases 1 through 3, we knew roughly
where
it was
going.
Coming. It didn't, but it was inevitable. That's the thing, is we knew it was coming. Still fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, but now we have no idea what's happening with them.
Yeah.
The other one who I think could have been a good, and I'm trying to figure out why they screwed this up, in my opinion, because both from an actor personality style and from a character style, the one that I would have made the anchor going forward, who I wanted to see in 3 movies by now, was Shang-Chi.
Yes. And I think we might get more of that.
Everybody forgets about Shang-Chi.
No, that's one of the better movies. It's like one of the best movies right now. It has the balance of the funny and the serious.
But after Iron Man, we saw Downey pop up in The Incredible Hulk. Yeah. He kept popping in. Like, we were getting those connective threads with what those characters are going to be, those anchor characters. We have not gotten that in Phase 4, right? And that's when I'm like, why don't you use Shang-Chi? I guess, Phase 4, we're just calling the Wong phase.
Yes. Wong is our anchor. He really is.
He's definitely our Nick Fury for this phase.
Yep. I agree.